Disturbing mythical creatures you've never heard of. Number 5. The Mongolian Death Worm. Picture this. You're walking through the Gobi Desert. The sun is frying your brain like an egg on asphalt. And suddenly, someone whispers, "Watch out for the worm." You laugh, because worms are tiny noodle things you throw on a fishing hook. But no, this worm? It's basically a biological jump scare. A fat, blood-red sausage that locals swear can spit acid and electrocute you from a distance. Because apparently, in Mongolia, even the dirt is trying to assassinate you. Now, here's the science-adjacent part. The myth of the death worm probably started with exaggerated sightings of actual desert animals, maybe a fat snake or a lizard belly crawling through the sand. But here's where human psychology kicks in. Our brains love to crank up the volume on scary stories. If someone sees a weird reptile once, by the time that story gets passed around the campfire 3 times, the lizard has turned into Godzilla's USB cable. And of course, humans are terrified of things that hide underground. Worms already make us squirm, so slap some acid, spit on one, and suddenly it's the final boss of Animal Planet. The electrocution part probably comes from the way dry desert air can carry static shocks, but tell that to someone who swears a giant crimson kielbasa zapped their camel. So while scientists have never proven the worm exists, locals treat it like Bigfoot's angry cousin. The irony? The death worm might just be proof that humans can't look at a sausage-shaped animal without turning it into nightmare fuel. Number 4. The Nuckelavee. Ever wondered what happens when a horse and a human merge together in the world's worst science experiment? Scotland already figured it out. The Nuckelavee. It's basically a skinless horse monster with a skinless human torso glued on top, like some demented horse rider cosplay gone horribly wrong. And no, I didn't say without a shirt. I mean literally no skin. Just muscles, veins, and all the nightmare biology your high school textbook politely skipped over. This creature comes from Orcadian folklore, where the sea was seen as this mysterious, dangerous place. Sailors blamed it for storms, disease, and crop failures. But instead of saying nature is scary, they said, clearly a horseman without skin is trying to ruin my barley harvest. You know, the logical explanation. Psychologically, this taps into one of the most universal human fears, body horror. Our brains hate seeing what's supposed to stay inside, outside. It's like when you watch a cooking show and the chef casually debones a chicken, except the chicken is you, and is riding itself across the beach. The Nuckelavee is just folklore weaponizing the fact that humans are squeamish meat sacks pretending to be elegant. Also, fun fact, it hates fresh water. That's right, you could theoretically defeat this skinless monstrosity with a bucket of Dasani. It's kind of poetic that one of the most terrifying creatures in mythology is basically allergic to hydration. So the next time you complain about Scottish weather, remember, at least you don't have to dodge a fleshless centaur with seasonal allergies. Number 3. The Tikbalang. Imagine hiking through the forests of the Philippines, sweating through your clothes, and suddenly hearing twigs snap behind you. You turn around, and there it is. A towering creature with a head of a horse, the body of a man, and legs so long it looks like it was designed by a confused stilt walker at a circus. That's the Tikbalang, and according to folklore, its favorite hobby is making sure you never get where you're going. The Tikbalang doesn't need to kill you to ruin your life. Nope, it just makes you hopelessly lost. One minute you're on a clear path, the next you're circling the same banana tree for 6 hours, questioning all your life choices. Psychologically, this plays right into our primal fear of being lost in the wilderness. Humans hate feeling directionless, whether that's in a forest or, let's be honest, in our 20s. So of course we imagine a supernatural troll horse who gets its kicks by scrambling our internal GPS. Some versions of the myth say you can stop a Tikbalang by wearing your shirt inside out, which means that apparently this 8-foot horse demon will be so confused by your questionable fashion choices that it just gives up. Forget garlic for vampires here, it's wardrobe malfunctions that save your soul. And maybe, just maybe, the Tikbalang is just an exaggerated story inspired by monkeys rustling branches at night. But the human brain doesn't settle for monkey. It goes, yeah, that's a demon horse who wants me to walk in circles forever. Basically, our ancestors invented the world's first trolling NPC. Number 2. The Encantado. Let's say you're at a riverside festival in Brazil. Everyone's dancing, the drinks are flowing, and out of nowhere, this charming stranger shows up. They're attractive, magnetic, way too smooth to be real. Turns out, they're not real. They're an Encantado, a shape-shifting river dolphin in disguise. Yep, in Amazonian folklore, dolphins don't just swim. They sneak onto land to party, seduce humans, and then vanish back into the water. And before you laugh, pink river dolphins are real. They're these slightly goofy, bubblegum-colored mammals that look like someone airbrushed a normal dolphin for Valentine's Day. But folklore turns them into supernatural Casanovas, because, apparently, we couldn't accept that dolphins were already weird enough. Psychologically, this myth taps into human fears about being deceived. You think you've met the perfect person, but they're actually hiding something in this case, the fact that they're literally a fish. It's folklore's way of warning people about strangers who seem too good to be true. The Encantado myth was basically the Amazon's version of don't trust smooth talkers at bars. The weirdest part? These dolphins supposedly had the power to hypnotize people with music, which is equal parts romantic and horrifying. Imagine getting serenaded by someone with the soul of Enrique Iglesias and then realizing they have fins. That's a therapy bill waiting to happen. So yeah, next time you see a dolphin smile, just remember, in another culture, that's the face of a supernatural stalker who wants to borrow your dance moves and your dignity. Number 1. The Grootslang. South Africa's mythology said, what if we take a snake, but make it worse? And thus, the Grootslang was born. A colossal serpent-elephant hybrid that supposedly lives in deep caves and drags unlucky humans into the abyss. Because clearly, elephants weren't terrifying enough. With their size, and snakes weren't terrifying enough with their whole existence. So someone went full mad scientist and combined the two into one overkill creature. According to legend, the gods accidentally created the Grootslang, realized they'd basically built a nightmare machine, and tried to split it into two species, elephants and snakes. But, surprise, some Grootslangs slipped through quality control, and now they're hanging out in caves hoarding diamonds like scaly billionaires. Yes, they don't just eat people, they collect gems. It's like if Smaug the dragon had a cousin who was really into pythons and pachyderms. From a psychological angle, this taps into what humans fear most, the unknown depths. Caves, pits, and dark waters are primal fear factories, because you never know what's down there. Your brain imagines monsters way scarier than reality. The Grootslang is that fear, weaponized. Add in its love of jewels, and you've got a perfect metaphor for greed, the kind where chasing shiny things literally gets you killed. Some people even believe the Wonder Hole in South Africa's Richtersveld region is the Grootslang's lair, a pit that supposedly has no bottom. Which means that if you fall in, congratulations, you've just become both a missing person and a mythological snack. Basically, the Grootslang has proved that humans are so good at storytelling. We managed to invent a creature that's both a horror movie villain and a financial advisor. Give me your diamonds or I'll eat you. That's all for today. I'll be making similar videos in the future. Subscribe to see them.